Here are some lies I could tell you. I don't cuss. I am on time with my rent. I fear nothing. I have been a Christian my whole life. And number five, okay, this one's gonna take a little bit longer for me to properly say, well, getting sick to the stomach. I am an Alabama fan. I know I was a bit over dramatic with that one, but I can't physically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like a word vomit coming out of my mouth on that one. Now, here's the truth, though, says Miss. I do cuss. I am struggling to make rent. I am scared to take risks. More specifically, I'm going to name three instances. Job interviews. I'm tired of hearing the word no. And it just takes a toll on your confidence. And telling this guy how I feel. For those hello. I'm going to start this episode off with a little game you might know as Two Truths and a Lie. I'm going to tell you two truths, one lie. So, let's get started. Number one, I can eat a whole jar of pickles by itself. Number two, I had never cussed a day in my life. Number three, yeah. Number three, oh, not the same one. Perfect. I thought that was a different one, but that's a different conversation for later. But number three, I wanted to try and smuggle a kangaroo out of the zoo once. Welcome back to Sass. Welcome back to Sun, Grace, and Sass. If you are new here, please hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please hit that like button, subscribe, help a girl out, and everything. Now, this is a podcast where we combine my two favorite things, God and sassiness. With that being said, let's jump right into today's episode, shall we? Okay. So, I want to know, which one did you guess was the lie? Um, if you guessed the first one, then you would be wrong. I drew a bowl of pickles like as a meal in itself. If you guessed the third one, then you would be wrong. The only thing that stopped my friend and I from doing that was also the law, but the fact that the other friend that was with us, he did not want to be the accomplice in our plans. Yeah, but in my defense, they were so soft. Those kangaroos at the Nashville Zoo are so soft, and like they're softer than a newborn puppy for crying out loud. Now, if you guessed the second one, then you would be correct. If you ask my coworkers, then they can tell you that I will say a cuss word or two. I might have a mouth like a sailor. I am human after all, but I try to practice self patience. Um, if you're wondering why I started this episode with that game and you read the title, then I think it's kind of obvious you know what I'm talking about here. Here are some lies I could tell you. I don't cuss. I am on time with my rent. I fear nothing. I have been a Christian my whole life. And number five, okay, this one's gonna take a little bit longer for me to properly say, well, getting sick to the stomach. I am an Alabama fan. I know I was a bit over dramatic with that one, but I can't physically. Yeah, yeah. I feel like a word vomit coming out of my mouth on that one. Now, here's the truth, though, says Miss. I do cuss. I am struggling to make rent. I am scared to take risks. More specifically, I'm going to name three instances. Job interviews. I'm tired of hearing the word no. And it just takes a toll on your confidence. And telling this guy how I feel. For those of you who watched my last episode, I'm not the girl that guys date. I'm the girl that guys are friends with. And every guy I have ever liked has never liked me back as anything more than a friend. And I don't want to go through that again. Um, I like this one guy now. He's the first guy I've liked in 4 years. And that scares me because I don't know if it's who God picked out for me or if it's that just that he's so cute and the fact that I like him. And it scares me. But another thing I'm scared of is letting people in. I'm scared by letting people in that they'll get to know me and they'll run for the hills. And it's like, oh, she's too sassy for us. She's too mean for us and all this kind of stuff. Or she has too much baggage, too much drama, and everything else. But the truth to that fourth statement was I quit believing in God at 16, and when I was 21, I started to believe again. And I fully surrendered myself when I was 20. How old am I now? 24. Oh my gosh, I had to think for that for a second. It's been 4 years, guys. I'm telling you. I've been single for 4 years, for crying out loud. And number five, I am an Auburn fan. The day you see me root, this is what I tell people. The day you see me root for Ohio State is the day that I become an bleh. The day you see me root for Ohio State is the day I become an Alabama fan. That day will never happen in this lifetime or any other lifetime beside that. My point that I'm trying to make here is that I am not perfect by all. There is only one person that's perfect, and he loves that I am imperfect. In fact, Philippians 3:12 tells us that not only have I attained this or am already perfect, but I press on you to make it my own because Christ Jesus has made it his own. And this verse highlights that even though we are not perfect, we can still strive toward Christ-like living and rely on God's grace to overcome our imperfections. Now, here's some questions. Will I ever not cuss? I don't do it all the time, but sometimes I am human and I let it slip out and I quickly apologize because I don't mean to, it just happens. And however, here's the thing. And if the SEC does not improve their football season, that's going to be proven harder than I thought. Trust me, I am one of those girls that when I get started watching a football game, I go in. Like, this one time my friend was trying to tell me, oh, no, you should come to Whiskey Dicks with us. Come to Whiskey Dicks and watch the game. And I tried telling him, you don't understand. When I watch football, I go all in, especially when it's a good game. Like, when I say I'm on the verge of a heart attack, I'm on the verge. The Auburn Texas A&M game this past year, the Georgia Tech game, those overtimes, oh my gosh, nearly threw me into a heart attack and induced coma right there. Um, will I ever be fearless? I hope so one day. I know God has my back. I know He's the fearless one for me. Will I ever make my rent on time? I would like to. I'm just praying that my job situation changes so I can be able to do that and be financially secure again. Believe me, I've blown through my savings and I hate it. I hate not being able to make my rent on time. It sucks. But we're human after all, and it's been a very hard past couple of months for sure. But one day I'll be a paralegal again, and I'm hoping that they will come. But what can I say? I'm just grateful to be working right now. Um, will I lose my faith again? I will not, because I know that he is my life. And then the other question is, will I ever become an Alabama fan? That'd be a day hell freezes over. Trust me, I know. But anyway, Romans 6:14 tells us, "For sin will no longer be your master, because you are not under the law, but under grace." And this verse reminds us that we are not bound by our imperfections due to God's grace. And here are some things to remember. God is God is perfect. Humans are not. Um, I also want to add this Bible verse in real quick. It's 2 Corinthians 12:9, and it tells us that, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." And this verse emphasizes that God's power is the most evident, and when we acknowledge our weaknesses and rely on His grace. Now, what are some things to remember? God, He is perfect. Humans are not. And the Bible clearly establishes that only God is perfect and that humans are inherently flawed. Grace allows us to be imperfect. Um, God's grace enables us to live despite our imperfections and we strive to become better. Focus on growth, not perfection. The Bible encourages us to continually work toward becoming more like Christ, even while recognizing our limitations. Um, can we be perfect? That answer is no. And this is because Perfection implies a state of flawlessness with no errors or shortcomings, which is inherently impossible for humans as we are constantly learning and growing. Making mistakes is a natural part of life and can provide opportunities for personal development. Striving for perfection and can hinder um, the lead and necessary. It can hinder growth and leads to unnecessary stress and anxiety. And Lord knows I have enough anxiety and stress to go around right now. I'm willing to share it if somebody wants it. But when I go into party and trip planning mode, I tend to focus on every little detail from where we're staying. If I'm in trip mode, I'm focusing on every from where we're staying to where we're eating, how we're all getting there, making sure everybody pays back on time, and everything else. If I'm in party planning mode, I'm making sure everything's perfect from the decorations to the sign to everything because I want it to be perfect in everything else. But my little brother is the same way. And one of the things I struggle with that, and I have to remind him that it's okay to have little imperfections because they are worth it in the end. And everything. But here's the question. Is it possible to be perfect in this imperfect world? I don't think so. God is the only one that's perfect. He has had our backs in many ways, and He has guided us through a lot into everything else. And I think that's something we just need to remember. But thank y'all for listening. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.